Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sonny or the fame. But when it bring both, so here we go again. Wins on the road, yeah, I got those. Couple records that I hold, yeah, I got those. It's the playoffs, the team just got home. I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic. Light skin, primetime action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Ready. Boom, check. Cover 38.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And he'll get about 6 up to the 20.
Quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Here we go.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They'll send a receiver in motion left. A man who played college football here in the Sunshine State. It's USF's Marlon Mack. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 3rd and 2, Knight. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken right on the 30. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Dolphin football. To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at the 34.
52 blaster. Opposite. Green.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. intercepted. Tua picked by his former college teammate, Christian Harris. And the Texans are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Channing Tindall. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, what a response by that defensive unit, Charles, because they just saw their offense throw the interception. They come out there, not only get an interception of their own, but they take it back for the touchdown.
I won't sing it because no one wants to hear that, but perhaps in early case of anything you can do, I can do better between these defenses. A lot of people came to expect the offense to light this game up, but so far, the defenses are stealing the show.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Starting to get the sense throughout the league that more of the special teams coordinators give their guys the green light to bring the ball out because everyone wants big plays to happen. I don't know if that philosophy will hold after that error there. Turn it over that deep in their own territory.
Do guys go rogue there a lot based on feeling?
I think a lot of them just sense that they can make a play and make a huge one to help their team. And they have to have that athletic arrogance about themselves. And every now and then, though, it'll cost them. And that's what we just saw there.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
On the set. Right, 97.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really strong in there. They wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Knight. It's caught left side by Cooks. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first down.
And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Following line, they began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
2 now on first down. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. The end result, 21 yards.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
Mostert is into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener that makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get an extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, they set the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing it for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Back to throw. Knight. That's complete. It's Collins. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. So, Charles, this game number 2 in the NFL career, this rookie quarterback, his guys took the loss in the opener. And when asked after that game by reporters how he did, he was pretty curt. He said, not well. What did you see?
Well, first and foremost, I loved his answer to the media because he was being honest. And those veterans in the locker room, they're looking at him to see how he's going to handle things. And they like the fact that he's not blaming other people because I thought he struggled. The only thing that's going to help him, though, reps. No matter how many big games you played in college, how well you do in practice, the reps in the real games, that's when you begin to grow as a quarterback.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
First and 10, it's Pierce. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
Hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Ready, ready. Black clock.
17-0 our score after 1. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and run for this with Mack. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw. Knight. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to nowhere to go. Here he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Let's go.
Once again, it's Mostert. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Running the counter with Mostert. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Black ultimate.
Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And that will be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yardage on first and second down.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
A give left side for Pierce. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Knight. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Knight. Open man is Mechie, and he's got him. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Hand off left side, Pierce. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And they'll go right back to Pierce. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Got a man on the right sideline. It's Pierce. Touchdown! Dameon Pierce, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone. And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out. Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The Dolphins had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right. And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one, as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Tackled by Jonathan Grenard. Looking to pass. Tua. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for Miami. 46 yards. Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15.
A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
Ready, set. Fly through.
Now on 2nd and 13. Tua. That's going to be caught by Waddle. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. The kick by Sanders is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Ready up.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Open man is Waddle, complete.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they pitch to Jacobs. And his defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Counter play with Jacobs. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He finds his man, complete. That's Bird. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 39-yard line. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. He was brought down by Malik Collins.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. On 2nd and 9, Tua. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On second down, here's Pierce. Taking it right down Broadway. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Houston. Dameon Pierce, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Ready, ready.
They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Here we go.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little.
Ready.
Third quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10.
Fight, 97.
Tua going to throw. Completes it to Hardman. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Black Ultra.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A run with Mostert up the middle. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. In on the tackle, Jalen Reeves-Maybin. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go, set. Drill, 52.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And they'll get him down right around the 16. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ready.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front. And it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And they'll get him down right around the 16. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Well, no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
Still a ways from the end zone as they come up now on 2nd and goal. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 5 on the run, but it leaves them with a tough 3rd and goal forthcoming.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Tua.
And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
So that, maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Flushed out right. 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
51 yards on the ground for him so far.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua.
That swung out to Mostert.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders.
This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Miami. 48 yards.
And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. This is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
And cycle.
Now Tua.
He'll get this into the hands of Mostert.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Tua sets up to pass it. And this is going to be intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
What a stand there defensively. They force the 3rd and goal, force them into what they think will be a passing situation, and then they make sure to lock up all the receivers and come away with the interception. Sounds simple, but that was really well done.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To throw on 3rd down, Knight. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
On the set. Go to the rail. 6. Mega.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
They'll get this complete to Collins. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Sanders on for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Mack. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Ready, ready. Right, 77.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it's looking like the Dolphins are going to win the football game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Here's Mostert. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's what you call stringing the play out. I know he was looking for a spot to get upfield, but they gave him nowhere to cut, nowhere to find a place to make it into the secondary, and they forced him out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
On the ready.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Ready.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for Miami, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns.